All right. So I think we can just get started. But so like that'll be a class in itself of like kind of the natural things, and it'll be, I think the verbs that we'll work on is seeing and then hearing. And so we'll work on those two verbs, and then the vocabulary will be things in nature. Like if you were just out walking in the woods, rivers and trees and animals, clouds and all of those kinds of things.
And another, just to jump in there, another feature of this area is you've got the Mahican, this humongous river, but then you have all these tributary creeks and stuff, which is, I guess, how, the ancestors moved around largely, like what they call the Roll of Jansenkill, I gather was called the Sankanak. There was also the Cloverock Creek, they call it. I don't know what the Mahican word for that is. Cloverock Creek, Taconic Creek, Catskill Creek, all these different creeks, and there's differentiation between them, it seems. And so I don't know. I'm really curious how the landscape was described, or the words.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm assuming everybody got the email with the new curriculum, week 7. So it is, the verb is kano. So if at any point you can't hear me, see me, or see what I see, there should be a picture of Napchanim, and she's pointing at herself. So that's representing Ngachane. So make sure I can see this. So Ngachane, Nia. So Nia Ngachane. Nia Ngachane. I have something or someone. Nia Ngachane. And Kia Kachane. Kia Kachane. You have something or someone. And Nakma Kano. Nakma Kano. He or she has something or someone. So we have Ngachane, Kachane, Kano. On it. So this little exercise, it'll just be repeating. So what I want you to do is say Ngachane, Kachane, Kachano. Ngachane, Kachane, Kachano. So I have, you have, he or she has. So Nape, Ngachane, Kachane, Kano. Wawinit. Austin. Ngachane, Kachane, Kano.
Ngachane, Kachane, Kano.
Wawinit. Machueno. Ngachane, Kachane, Kano.
Gachane, Kachane, Kano.
On it. Brian. Ngachane, Kachane, Kano.
Gachane, Gachane, Gano.
Kano. On it.
Kano.
Elizabeth. Ngachane, Kachane, Kano.
Gachane, Kachane, Kano.
Wow, on it. Lori. Ngachane, Kachane, Kano.
Sorry about that.
Gachane, Kachane, Kano.
Wow, on it. All right. So I'm going to ask you, I'll say, Kagwai Kachane. Kagwai Kachane. So what do you have? Kagwai Kachane. And then you see the picture. So you would either say Ngachane amhon. Ngachane nachawanok. Einha. Ngachane tachekan. On it. So I'll ask you kagwai kachane and then amhon nachawanok. Einha tachekan. Austin. Kagwai kachane.
Ngachane amhon wong natnchawanok wong tachegan.
Wow, and it. So you only have to choose one. So Austin gets the star. Mahueno, kagwai kachane.
Gokane. Tihegan.
Wow, and it. Brian, kagwai kachane.
Gachane Aman.
Gachane amhon. Wow, and it.
Amhon.
Elizabeth, kagwai kachane.
Gachame. Dehina. Dehinkan.
Tachekan.
Dehikan.
Wow, and it. Nope, Elizabeth, kagwai kachane.
I don't know. I'm sorry. You know, did you say there was supposed to be a written aid, printed aid for this lesson? Because I didn't get that.
Yeah, and I don't know
Okay.
exactly when I sent it out, but it was like maybe 5 o'clock or 5:15. It wasn't too long before class.
So you're going to force me to listen and repeat, huh?
So did you not get the email?
I don't think so, but I'll look later.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Say it again.
So kagwai kachane. And then yep, kagwai kachane, what do you have? And then ngachane
Gachene. Amhan.
ngachane amhon on it. Lori, kagwai kachane.
Gachane Aman.
Gachane amhon.
Gachane Amhan.
Wow, and it. Okay, so now we have Nakan, Nelnoganith, Nipakecho. And like in responding, so if somebody asks Kagwai Kachane, like saying Ngachane Kan, that's the equivalent is I have a cup. It's not a specific cup we're talking about. It's just a cup. Ngachane Kan on it. So Nape Kan Onoganith Pakecho. So from one of those three, you get to pick one. Austin Kagwai Kachane.
Ngachane naunogneth.
Wow, isn't it? Mahueno Kagwai Kachane.
Gokane. Pakecho.
Wow, isn't it? Brian, Kagwai Kachane.
Gachane Nakan.
Wow, isn't it? Ngachane Nakan. Elizabeth, Kagwai Kachane.
Negachene Pakecho.
Ngachane Pakecho. Wow, isn't it? Lori, Kagwai Kachane.
Gachane Pakecho.
Ngachane Pakecho. Wow, isn't it? Okay.
What Schreiber is that in the picture there?
Napchanim. Star Schreiber. Does that look like a Schreiber?
Just asking.
No, on it. Okay, so how did I want to do this exercise? On it. Austin. So we have Satswak, Papin, Solkit. Satswak, Papin, Solkit. Salt, pepper, sugar. Satswak, Papin, Solkit. Austin, Kagwai Kachane.
Ngachne Nesoket.
Gachane Nesokat. Machueno. Kagwai Kano Austin. Kagwai Kano Austin.
Austin. Kakane. Oh, sweat.
Nope. Austin Kano Soket.
Connell. Oh. Yeah.
Right? Because why did it
Austin
change from
Connell. So
wow, and it? So do we know why it changed from Kachane
third-
to Kachano?
Because he or she, you're asking if he or she has something.
Kwame. Wow, and it?
wow.
Machueno. Kia. Kagwai Kachane.
Pepin. Kakane.
Wow, and it? Brian. Kagwai Kano Machueno.
Mahueno, Gano Sakswet.
Machueno. Kagwai Kachane.
Oh. Mahueno, Kag.
Ah, Pepin.
Papin. Not be Brian. Kagwai Kano Machueno.
Kagwe, Kagwai Kano Mahueno.
So I'm asking you.
Pepin.
Yep. So when I say Kagwai Kano Machueno, what does Machueno have? Or you'd say Machueno Kagwai Kano, either way. But I'm asking you what he
Because you're asking me, what does Mahueno have? Okay. So, Mahueno Kano Pepin.
on it. Machueno Kano Papin. Brian Kia. Kagwai Kachane. Nia.
I'm lost.
On it. Kan. Nia Ngachane. Nia Ngachane Kan. Nia Ngachane Kan. Brian Kagwai Kachane. Kia. Kagwai Kachane.
So are you asking me to directly if I have something, or are you asking me if Kia has it?
Kwame. So Kia is you.
Okay.
Kia is you. So, yep, I'm saying kagwai kachane. What do you have?
Okay. Go. Go. Gochene Sukit.
Gachane soket. Won't
Okay.
Elizabeth. Kagwai kano Brian.
Was I listening? What did he say? Brian, Kano, Sukit. Did he say Sukit?
Soket.
Soket. Yeah.
On it.
Okay.
Kano Soket.
All right.
And so, like, at any point, well, we're making very good progress. So, like, we have the language that if we don't remember what the person said, then you can just ask them, right? So if you didn't remember what he said, you could say, not be Brian, kagwai kachane. So again, Brian, what do you have? Kagwai kachane. Elizabeth, kia kagwai kachane. Nope.
I think she's on mute.
Stock
Mike
put the
is
one
muted.
on it.
Gachine Pepin.
Gachane pepen on it. Lori, kagwai kano Elizabeth.
Kano Swatsuk Elizabeth. I got it.
Stock kanoe.
I forgot.
Elizabeth, stock kanoe. Satswak.
Oh, gotta look. I'm sorry. Kano Nasolkit Elizabeth.
On it, Elizabeth? Kagwai kachane.
Gachine Pepin.
Wow, on it.
Pepin.
Lori, kagwai kano Elizabeth.
Kano Pepin Elizabeth.
Wow, on it. Lori, kia. Kagwai kachane.
Ni Gachane. Oh, forgot. Ni Gachane Nusok Nusatswak.
Nisatswak. Wow, on it. Austin, kagwai kano Lori.
Lori Kano Nasatswok.
Wow, on it. All right. Kuche mond waganan. Questions. You have questions.
Would plural for Kano be Kanawak?
Let me think here. Kanawak. Kwame.
Kano or Kano?
Kahanawak.
Kano.
Yep.
One
So,
name.
Nia ngachane. Kia kachane. Nakma. So singular. Nakma kano. Nakmawa. So plural. Kanawak. Wow, minute.
One name.
Brock, what is Kia when you say Kia Kagwai Kahachane? What is Kia?
You.
You.
Yeah. So Nia is I or me. I don't know. Let me check if I put pronouns. So I did update like the additional words and phrases on the curriculum at the bottom. I put 3 of the pronouns that we use most frequently. So Nia, I or me, Kia is you, Nakma, he or she. Nia, Kia, Nakma.
Is that Nakmon? Nakmon?
Naakm and a nasal A. Nakma.
Nakmon is they.
Yep, he or she, they. But it's just singular because then if you're saying
Oh, it's singular. Okay.
singular,
So it's he or
correct.
she. Yeah.
Yep. On it. Kuche Mondawaganan. Any other questions?
Is that a Schreiber in the picture?
All right. Mahueno
What
gets,
is the she?
Mahueno gets 1 X on the chalkboard.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so we have that's a nice little dialogue that we have going on. So we're going to do that again. And now we have Poten, Tequach, Cheth. Poten, Tequach, Cheth. So then again, I'll ask you what you have, and then I'll, ask the other person about you, and we'll just continue that pattern. Wawanit,
Wow.
Kwame, Austin, Kagwai, Kachane.
Ngachne tequach.
Onit, Gachne, Tequach. Mahueno, Kagwai, Kano, Austin.
Connell, Austin, Tequach.
Onit, Kano, Austin, Tequach. Mahueno, Kia, Kagwai, Kachane.
Gukane, Chet.
Wawanit, Gachane, Cheth. Brian, Kagwai, Kano, Mahueno.
Mahueno Gachano Chet.
Mahueno, Kano, Chet. And then it's important, the stress of so like the spellings are different in the importance of the stress of Kia and Nakma. And it comes up a lot with those two, with Kia and Nakma, in that, Kachane, Khan. So without even looking at the spelling, you just can hear the difference in the stress. Like they sound like they are spelled the same, but the spelling is to help with that stress. Kachane, Kia, Kachane. Nakma, Kano. Nakma, Kano. Wow, isn't it? Brian, Kia, Kagwai, Kachane.
Guhune na Takwaks.
Nope. Kagwai, Kachane.
Kagwai Kachani.
Do you remember Nope? So Nope, I'll try to use that one a lot, but Nope is again. Nope is again.
Oh, one more time. Okay. Nope. Okay. So
Okay.
Guhane ni Takwaks. Takwach.
Onit, Tequach.
Takwach. Tequach.
Wawanit.
Tequach.
Ngachane tequach.
Gachene tequach.
So just thinking of Mahueno kano tequach. That's a good sentence to practice that. Mahueno kano tequach.
Mahueno Tecano Maquas.
Okay, so Brian kano tequach.
Yeah.
Elizabeth, kagwai kano Brian.
Brian Cano Tequach.
Brian kano tequach. Wonk kia. Elizabeth, kagwai kachane.
Na Nachina Jeff.
Ngachane Jeff. Wawanit. Lori, kagwai kano Elizabeth.
Elizabeth Chano Cheth.
Wawanit. Wonk kia. Lori, kagwai kachane.
You're asking me what I have?
Kwame.
Nia Gachene Tequach.
Wawanit. Nian gachane tequach. Austin, kagwai kano Lori.
Lori Kano na Tequach.
Wawanit. Wawanit. Okay, now I also threw the negatives in there. That should probably be, I think that's kind of going to be something that I do from now on when we work on new verbs. If it's, so we have ngachane, kachane, khan. Now, if, so now the way this will work is I'll ask if you have something, I'll say, Austin, kachane amhon. And then the response, it's all going to be negative. So then you would say, sta ngachaneo amhon. Sta ngachaneo. And that, from what I've been taught, that sta ngachaneo, that's just like one thought. Even though it's written out the way it is, it's just one thought. So, kwang ngachane, sta ngachaneo. Stanga Chanel. Austin. Kachane Amhon.
Sta Ngachneo Amhon. Or
Wawanit.
Sta Ngachneo Amhon.
Wawanit. And so I got to just quick run this by Mahueno. Is it more relevant to say sta ngachaneo amhon?
Well, it's supposed to be that doubled up negative, but what about the U at the end of there? That's a negative in itself, right?
Kwame.
Hmm.
Yeah, so
we can just double just for people to get used to know it's different. So what he's getting at is between me and him is whenever you say negative, always say it kind of twice, right?
Kwame.
And it sounds weird with your English mind, but that's just how they would do it,
Okay.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
No, pe.
Oh heck no, that's just like farting with me. It's in and it's gone. No, in the old language thing, whenever you're saying something negative, you indicate that twice. And so that's what Brock is saying. Should we just go with one sta and then the ending of the word? And I'll let him take it from there if that's the thinking you had.
Yeah, so we'll continue with sta ngachaneo. And that means I do not have something or someone. Okay, mahueno. Let's see. Tachekan kachane.
Sta. Kakanu teheke.
No, nit stang gachaneo tachekan. Brian. Nut nachawanok kachane.
Sta. Nakochano. Nakan. No, wait, it's tegen. Sta. Nachaneo. Taken.
Stang gachaneo tachekan. Psuk. Psuk. Nia doptona. Kagwa or nut nachawanok kachane. So, but I said, do you have a fork? Kachane nut nachawanok, Brian?
No, okay.
No.
Can you say it again? No.
Ame. Kachane nut nachawanok.
Sta. Nachaneo. Nachaneo. Nachwanok.
Nut nachawanok.
Nachanok. Nachwanok. Nachwanok.
Yeah. And so we'll get to, there'll be like certain connections that we'll come across, and one of them will be with a fork. So nacha, nguta, nesa, nacha. And then what are we talking about? Nut nachawanok. So that word has that nacha in it, talking about those tines, or, the three things on there. Wow, and it. Elizabeth. Amhon kachane?
Stang gachano. I'm sorry, Nape.
Amhon kachane?
Stang gachano.
Stangachanel amhon. Nit. Lori. Tachekan kachane?
Stangachaneo. Tachekan?
Monit. Stangachanel tachekan.
Stangachaneo tachekan.
Wow, nit. Okay. Nape squatho. Nape squatho. So the negative for nakma, khanoe. Right? So nakma, khano. So nape squatho, khano amhon. The boy has a spoon. Nape squatho, khano amhon. Pasuk, kache. Na pesquatho sta khanoe amhon. Na pesquatho sta khanoe amhon. So the boy doesn't have a spoon. Wow. Come.
Isn't it? Isn't it nap napatho? It's not. Isn't napatho a girl?
Kwame. That's correct. And for calling me out, Elizabeth gets an X too.
X. She best be getting a star.
No, that is a good thing. That is a good thing when you're able to be able to call the teacher out, and that just kind of demonstrates the understanding and that you're listening. But no, I didn't do that on purpose. Yeah.
You're smarter.
Napeno patho. Napeno patho. So then I'll ask, Napeno patho kano amhon. Napeno patho kano amhon. And then Napeno patho sta kanoe amhon. Napeno patho sta kanoe amhon. On it. Austin, Napeno patho kano amhon.
Sta na penopathos stan stakanoe amhon.
Wow, on it. Sta. So did you hear that right away? Sta.
Yeah.
Napeno patho sta kanoe amhon. Wow, on it. Mahueno. Napeno patho kano amhon.
Star. Napeno pato. Star. Kanoe.
Wow, on it. Sta.
Amhon.
Napeno patho sta kanoe amhon. Brian. Napeno patho kano amhon. Stock put the one, Brian. Stock put the one.
Sta napeno patho stan nadea automo amen.
Oh,
Okay.
nope. So
Stan
no.
napeno patho stan, then I get stuck.
On it. Sta kanoe.
Sta canoe.
Sta kanoe amhon.
Okay. Right. Sta napena patho sta canoe amen.
Wow, on it. Elizabeth. Napeno patho kano amhon.
Sta, na penopatho sta kanawe amhon.
On it. On it. Lori. Napeno patho kano amhon.
Sta napena patho sta kanoe amhon.
Wow, on it. Okay. Napesquatho. Napesquatho. So now I'll start us off. I'll ask Austin. Done. Austin kuchemona mahueno, and done mahueno kuchemona Brian. All right. So we're asking what the girl has. Let me see what's the next one. What the girl has. Okay. So Austin.
Okay.
Napesquatho kanokan.
Sta na pesquathos stankanoe
Wow.
nakan.
Nit. Austin kuchemona mahueno.
Mahueno na pesquatho kachene na paquecho.
Star.
Paquecho.
Star. Ne Pasquatho sta ka Kaneowe, Kaneowe, it slipped out of my Kaneowe, Picacho.
Sta na pesquato sta canoe paquecho. So it
Sta, Nepe Squato, Sta, Canoe, Pequecho.
on it. So when talking in third person, like nakma, you'll hear the verb, the conjugation of the verb. So if I'm asking, na pesquato cajano amhon. So does the girl have a spoon? Na pesquato cajano amhon. So then if the answer is qua, na pesquato cajano amhon, you're just kind of repeating it and the conjugation of the verb stays the same. And then you just have to, when it's sta, it's still cano, right? But now it's sta canoe. Sta canoe. So in third person, it's kind of listening to the question and you'll have your answer a little bit, part of your answer, how to conjugate it. Okay. So mahueno, kuche mona Brian, na pesquatho cano amhon.
Brian, Nape Squato, Cano, Ion.
Brian, stock put the one. Stock put the one. Not be, Brian, not be. You're muted. Still muted, Brian.
Sta na pesquatum. Gagway. What does she have?
Kagwai Kano.
Gagway Gano.
On it. Na pesquatho Kano amhon. Sta Kanoe amhon.
Sta na pesquato. Gucanal amon.
Sta Kanoe amhon.
Stock Noe. Amon.
Amhon. On it. And I noticed that little.
Try just closing your eyes once, Brian, and repeating it.
That's a very helpful thing to do. And I did throw a curveball. I said Amhon, and I looked at my picture and I see I have Khan Onoganith won't kid.
Nakan, yeah.
On it.
But I ran with it.
Oh, newe mahueno. Got no newe in joy. Elizabeth. Na pesquatho cano paquecho.
Sta, na Piscuano, Canewe, Hoquecho.
Sta na pesquatho sta canoe paquecho. Lori. Na pesquatho cano noganith.
Sta, Nape Squato, Sta, Canoe. Nope. Kenneth,
Onoganith.
Onoganith, Sta, Nape Squato, Sta, Canoe, Oganith,
Onoganith.
Onoganith.
Wawanit. Wawanit. All right. J. Mondawaganan. Any questions?
What
It
does
seems
what does onaguinus mean?
Bowl. And as far as like what the closest are like a literal translation of it, I'm not sure, but I just know bowl. Onoganith. I don't know if it's
Noginus.
more descriptive or if it's a borrowed word. I'm not sure.
Think of your head as a noggin and tip it upside down. Noggin.
Oh, man.
Noginus.
Yeah, it seems like maybe just practicing the different forms of ngachne, kachne, stangachne, or stachanoe, just a lot would help.
Yep, and everyone's learning style's different, and that was definitely something I did. That was a free time activity for me, is conjugating verbs, and started by writing. Right, I had to write them all down, and even just getting familiar with the pronouns, nia, kia, nakmo. Just getting familiar with that. So I'd sit there and write it. Nia ngachane, nia ngachane, kia kachane, kia, and just over and over. And whatever I was doing, if I was riding a bike, so I'm in there conjugating verbs nonstop, and it's just a repetition. And then it's anything. It just takes practice, and then you get familiar with it. And then you're like climbing, then you'll plateau. And then you climb, then you'll plateau, and it's a lot of fun. Okay, so we're almost out of time. And I did have another verb on here that I just wanted to touch. Today if we could. And that verb, so nia ndonyantum. Nia ndonyantum. So I want or need something. I need something. I want something. Nia ndonyantum.
Nia donyantum.
Ndonyantum. Wawanit.
Donyantum.
So Austin. Ndonyantum.
Donyantum. Nia donyantum.
Mahueno ndonyantum.
Ndonyantum.
Brian ndonyantum.
Donyantum.
Elizabeth ndonyantum.
Ndayatham.
On it. Lori ndonyantum.
Ndayantan.
On it. So that is nia ndonyantum. So I need or I want something. I want something. So kia kitanyantum. Kitanyantum. Nia ndonyantum. Kia kitanyantum. Okay, so we'll just try one quick exercise and then we can wrap it up. So on the page, I have onoganith, natnachawanok, pakecho, tachekan. Onoganith, natnachawanok, pakecho, wonk, tachekan. So I'm going to ask, kagwai katanyantum, what do you need? Kagwai katanyantum, what do you need? What do you want? So kagwai katanyantum, and then the response, ndonyantum onaganith. I need a bowl. Ndonyantum onaganith. Okay, Austin, kagwai katanyantum.
Ndonyantum natnahawanok.
Wow, and it. Ndonyantum natnachawanok. Mahueno, kagwai katanyantum.
Dayantum Pacheco.
Donyantum pakecho, wow, and it. Brian, kagwai ketonyantum.
Na diatom heken. De heken.
Tachekan.
Taheken. Na diantum taheken.
On it. Elizabeth, kagwai ketonyantum.
Nia Nidoyatham Pakecho.
On it. Ni and dayantum kecho. So ta. Dayantum.
Doyatham.
Dayantum. On it. On it. Lori, kagwai ketonyantum.
Neon Dianton Monogamous.
On it. Ni and dayantum monogamous. Wow.
My computer's dying, so I don't know how much longer it will last.
Okay. Well, we just ran out of time. So, Che Mondawal. Well, me. Any last questions? If not, so next class, I'd like to start getting into counting. So I just want to keep building and building as we go. So we'll be counting things that we've already talked about. But there is a set on the Quizlet app, and it's called Apples and Corn or Corn and Apples. And that's a good introduction to show the difference between counting animate and inanimate things.